tower, and we make you very welcome to our Motordrome Speedway tonight for Wins, to the presentation of our Sidecar Masters, an exciting new series. You can see the sidecars moving out into the centre, and they're going to run against the clock to clock in fast times, and the rider who clocks in the fastest time will head up the Stars Dash along with the 4 other fastest riders from the time trials. Then the riders will be split into 2 divisions, where the top class division, that's the fastest division, will be competing for more points in the series than the riders who are slowest of all. There's the Kawasaki girls. Give them a big wave and give them a big cheer. And yeah, a nice whistle or two. The gals are looking great on back of the Kawasaki vehicle, and thanks to Chris Hurst and the Kawasaki girls. Now, okay, we're getting down to business. We're getting down to the time trials in the Kawasaki Newcastle Sidecar Masters. This is round 1. Watch the guys go. Here is Grant Bond and passenger Victor Gavinlock running against the clock. Right, there goes Grant Bond and Victor Gavinlock. They're against the clock. It's ticking away on the Hunter Communications timer. Down back straight away. Past there in about 8 seconds. Let's see what they're going to clock in at officially. The pressure is on them. The Top Guns. Oh, the engine gave a bit of a fluff coming out of that corner. And Grant Bond, suffering a little bit of mechanical problem, clocks in 16.758. Well, as I said, Joel, couple of cold engines early in the time trials. The pressure is on, and Grant Bond, current Australian best pairs champion and winner of the South Australian Sidecar Classic, may be a little bit disappointed with a time of 16.758. Now, Mick Farrell from the Mayfield Club and his passenger Glenn Cox from Bullaroo, ready to clock in their time. Away they go against the Hunter Communications time. A very experienced rider, Mick Farrell, particularly on the short circuit tracks. Came into Speedway a couple of seasons ago. Hasn't had a lot of meetings. And as you can see, he's a little slow. They're all a little tentative on this track early on tonight. And Mick Farrell's going to come in a time of 18.846. 18.846 for Mick Farrell and Glenn Cox. Next, we're scheduled to see Darren Caife and passenger Dean Hughes. They'll run against the Hunter Communications timer. So far, the fast time belongs to Grant Bond and passenger Victor Gavinlock. They have a time of 16.758 to their credit. So we'll see how Darren Caife and Dean Hughes will go against the Hunter Communications timer. Probably a bit disappointing for Grant Bond. I think he might have been going to do perhaps a little bit quicker than the 16 second, but motor gave in on him coming through turn 3-4. Let's see what Darren Caife can produce. The green flag's up. He's running against the timer. As you can hear, with the engines not quite warmed up, they're giving a little bit of a fluff early on, and that was the case with Darren Caife. He's passed there in about 8. But it's not quite giving him the power he wants. It's going to be a good time just the same. That's Darren Caife coming in a 16.680 to become the fastest time so far tonight. Darren Caife and Dean Hughes, 16.680. Next up, we're scheduled to see Hugh Austin and Bob Sipple coming in against the timer. A lot of sidecar riders from interstate have got the news that there's $30,000 up for grabs in this 10-round series, and many of those riders were very, very disappointed that they couldn't be here for the first round. But I'll tell you what, those riders that are out there tonight are happy they're not here. This is Doc Fulp, Doc Fulp on the track. Right, we've just received indication there's a change in order. This is Doc Fulp and passenger Mark Cox. Doc Fulp and Mark Cox on the track. They're coming out of turn 3-4 in a pretty competitive time. It's going to be about another 16, 17 seconder. It's 17.115, and please note that was for Doc Fulp. Doc Fulp and Mark Cox at 17.115. 17.115. Now, we've missed Hugh Austin in the order there somewhere. We'll try and endeavour to pick up where he's going to come in. And we've got, if we're going to stick to the order on the program, we've got Les Cousins and passenger Paul Q scheduled to come out on the track. This is Les Cousins and passenger Paul Q. Now, they're away to a very good start. They got in perhaps a little bit tight in turn one, and he had to back away, but he's through there in about 8.5 seconds. So he's going to be in around about the 16, 17 second time mark as well. Les Cousins crosses the line, 17.038. 17.038 for Les Cousins. Now, we've been notified that Hugh Austin will come out on the end of the pack, seeing as he missed his turn. He wasn't ready to come out in his order, so he will now go to the end of the field. And we'll move to the combination of Gavin and Dean Edwards. Gavin and Dean Edwards coming onto the racetrack. A very improved brigade, the Sidecars. They've improved in their numbers and improved in their standards. And the passenger's just about off. Gee, is he okay? Yeah, he seems to have got himself organised now, but I think the rider was just a little anxious to get started there. And Gavin and Dean Edwards. Now, what happened there was the official noticed that the passenger wasn't quite ready, so he's going to give him that time again. So if you'd send him around again, please. Send him around again, because the chief steward was a little concerned that the passenger wasn't ready when he saw legs being shot out all over the place. So there's a nice gesture by the steward, Joel, to give Gavin and Dean Edwards another crack at it. The passenger's getting off shaking his leg. He dead set wasn't ready on the back of that bike.
Knowing the guys, like that was probably their quickest time of the year.
Might be too. Okay, so that time doesn't count, and they'll go down to the end of the pack now. The combination of Gavin and Dean Edwards. Now, this is Mick Lillis, would you please note. Steve Houston is out for the night. He's had a mechanical breakdown, and Mick Lillis is the rider on track, and he'll be taking his Steve Houston's place right throughout the program tonight. So Mick Lillis coming down. That bike not sounding very well either. 17.905 for Mick Lillis. 17.905 Mick Lillis, replacing Steve Houston all night in our Sidecar Masters round number 1. Now, we should be scheduled to see Peter Bennett and passenger Wayne Ferry. They had some mechanical problems after the warm-up, and they've been working frantically on the electrical system of their bike, so they'll be hoping that they've got the problem sorted out.
And Ross, we must point out too that the importance of this time trial, because the top 5 riders on times, so the riders that finish in the top 5 on times, will get a chance to score some extra points tonight. They will go through to the Stars Dash, and they will score points from 5 through to 1. So all important this time trial to finish in the top 5.
Peter Bennett, very experienced rider, has been around sidecar racing for a long, long time. Ooh, very untidy in turn 2, went out really wide. Down back straight away about 8.6, 8.7. He'll need to do a good turn 3, 4 to make up that time. And he comes down to grab the flag in 17.047. 17.047. So we still have Darren Caife as the fast time at 16.680, just ahead of Grant Bond with 16.758, the only 2 riders to break the 17-second barrier. Now, this is Brett Pearce coming out onto the track, a very famous name in sidecar racing, the name of Pearce. A lot of sidecar enthusiasts would remember all too well Jack Pearce. A wonderful exponent of sidecar racing was Jack. And this is his son, Brett Pearce, who's keeping up the sidecar tradition in the family. And hasn't that been the case through the sidecar ranks for a number of great families? And here's another one. Brett Pearce and his passenger Winston Stokes coming into main straight away. They're going to get about a 17-seconder. No, right on 18.004. Brett Pearce time 18.004. Now, Darren Williams and Dion Sinclair are the next pairing we're scheduled to see. And that will be the case. Darren Williams, Dion Sinclair come to the racetrack. Coming into the main straight away. Away they go. Gee, they've got it revved right up. Down out of turn 1, 2. Lost a little bit of ground out of 2. About 8.5. This is going to be a competitive time by Darren Williams and Dion Sinclair. They'll come in on the 17-second mark, I'd reckon. Yep, 17.177. A pretty good time. 17.177. But still, Darren Caife has the fast time of 16.680. Coming up next, Chris Pym and Shane Van Gineken. And Chris has been relatively competitive here at the Motordrome too. He's clocked in some good performances, some consistent performances, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes against our Hunter Communications timer. Chris Pym, passenger Shane Van Gineken. Here they come to get their time in the Sidecar Masters. Away they go. Now that was a good turn 1. A good turn 1 for Chris Pym. That means he comes out of turn 2 very smoothly. And if he gets a good setup in 3-4, here's a chance to try and set in fast time. Comes to the flag, yes, 16.538. He sets fast time. What about we hear it? Chris Pym and Shane Van Gineken set fast time in the Sidecar Masters, and that all came about with a beaut setup going into turn 1. Picked a nice line, came out of turn 2 with plenty of power. So Chris Pym and Shane Van Gineken will be very happy that they head back into the pits at the moment in the pit area with the fastest time at 16.538. Peter Selk and his passenger Mick Farrell get started. And Peter has been a long-time competitor here at the Motordrome too. Likes this track. So don't be surprised if he can come up with fast time, or at least in the top 5. I'd be expecting that he could snatch a top 5 place. Coming into main straight away. There's the green flag. The timer has started. Down probably just a little bit too tight in turn 1. Now he powers out of turn 2 in about an 8.687, so I think he's looking at a 17-seconder. Coming in just a little tight in turn 3-4 as well. And an 18-seconder, in fact, 18.088. Peter Selk's time, 18.088. Now here's a rider who I think could probably be the dark horse on the night tonight, John Pitt and his passenger Mark Arnold. When they manage to put it all together on race night, they are very, very competitive, this combination. And if they've got their act together tonight, don't be surprised at all if they're not figuring with fast times and top finishes as the night progresses. John Pitt, Mark Arnold, about to clock in the time trial. Ooh, a little unsteady going across the start line. Down very tight and low in turn 1. Can he get the power out of turn 2? Goes past in about an 8.2 and 8.3. He's really got it wound up. If he can keep it wound on, oh, he's out very wide. He kept away from the concrete wall. 16.564. 16.564, just a fraction outside Chris Pym's time. So that gives him second fastest time, John Pitt. And had he not quite made a mess of turn 4, I think he would have set fast time for the night. But such is not the case. Now this is Mark Griffiths and Chris Wilson. Now, this combination is the current Australian long track champion combination. And they hold the 4-lap record here at the Newcastle Motordrome, the Wins Newcastle Motordrome. So look out. Here is another top combination. Mark Griffiths and Chris Wilson again. Another family, the Griffiths family, synonymous with sidecar racing. Away he goes. Let's have a look at the setup in turn 1. It's not bad, although he's pushed out here. He's pushed out badly in turn 2. Now, can he make it up? Yes. It's about an 8-2. Look out. Here comes fast time, I would reckon. Mark Griffiths and Chris Wilson charge to the line. Yes, sirree. 16, 2, 5, 9, and a new 1-lap record. What about a bigger round of applause for Mark Griffiths and Chris Wilson? 16.259. Now that's fast time. We've got Hugh Austin coming out next. So Mark Griffiths and Chris Wilson will be very, very happy. The current Australian long track champions now hold 2 records at the Motordrome. The 1-lap record and the 4-lap record. Now go back up on your score sheet to Hugh Austin and Bob Sipple. They're now ready to clock in their time. Away they go, a couple of Tamworth riders. Lovely to see them down from the northwest of New South Wales. And it's good to see them here at the Motordrome, the Wins Newcastle Motordrome. Ooh, the bike's given a bit of a cackle there. It's gone. And 18.670 is the time for Hugh Austin. 18.670, but not a happy ending to that time trial. And now we go back to Gavin and Dean Edwards. They did get their act together, but the steward was giving them the benefit of the fact that they might not have been quite ready because the passenger was definitely unbalanced as they came to the start. Joel, I also got a feeling that Mark Griffiths was a little unhappy as he walked out the pit gate. I think they might have had a mechanical problem going out there, so there might be some pressure on him.
Well, it's a bit scary if they did because they set the lap records, but this is Edwards, and Edwards this time. It's not a bad line into the turn. They throw it sideways to set themselves up for back straightaway. Not too shabby. Under the timer they go in about 8.5. So this will be an average time. Out of the turn 3-4 they come. Don't look too bad either. Nice mid-track line to grab the checker. And 17.010 for the Edwards. Gavin and Dean Edwards. 17.010 for their second go at the time trial, and that completes all our riders now. So all riders have completed the 1 lap against the clock, so we'll try to endeavour to work out the top 5 for you. They'll go through to a Stars Dash and a chance to pick up some extra points, Ross.
Well, again, Joel, I must point out to our Motordrome fans, particularly if you're new, Joel and I are simply commentators, and we like to try and keep you informed that it's the job for the officials to give us the actual official placings and times. But as we see it, Mark Griffiths would be number 1, Chris Pym 2, John Pitt 3, Darren Caife 4, and Grant Bond 5. They, according to us, would be the top 5 riders from the time trials in the first round of our Sidecar Masters for 96-97.
And what a Stars Dash that'll be, Ross. Some really top gun riders. And watch out for that one a bit later on the Stars Dash, because these guys with this new Masters format are really going to turn on the action tonight. But getting ready now for our first of our 4-wheel events tonight, and shown in your program was event number 2. The Wins Formula 500 rear markers invitation over 5 laps, and good to have the Formula 500 guys back with us. They always provide some action and excitement. And tonight will be no different as they make their way onto the circuit for their first race of the night. The Baxters in the yellow machines work their way up. Looks like they might be off the front row of the grid. So, yep, so the 31 of David Baxter and the 32 of brother Michael. And if they can get a good start here, they'll be very hard to run down the 36 of Paul Morris. There's another goer here. Also some very nicely prepared cars this season. A lot of work's gone in during the off-season. There's the champ, Tony Pryor. Car number 1, watch for him to go. These are the top guns of the Formula 500s. So just keep your eyes peeled here. Some very talented drivers. Chris Alcorn towards the back in the black number 7. Watch for Pryor, though. He's the current New South Wales and Australian champion. So he's by no means any slouch. Gary Thorley there in the 20. He'll be one looking to get up there as well. So a real class field here for the first of the Formula 500 races. Got the 9 starters. And get set for some race action. Lights are flashing. Not a bad looking line as they come in the acceleration. Morris is a little bit slow to get off the front mark, and there's no start. Yes, Morris in car 36 was just a little bit sluggish off the front row. The two Baxters, Michael and David, were keen to get things underway, but Morris was just caught napping. And this is a hot Formula 500 field. And the guys are towy. The lights start to flash. This is a little bit better formation this time. We should get the green, and they do too. The green flag falls, and getting away quickly from the second row of the grid was the 69 machine. Came through, sideways. Pryor got into trouble, and Pryor in car number 1, and can he manage to keep it going? That's good driving by Pryor. He's got it fired up again, but he's got a lot of ground to make up on the race leader, and it's the 31 of David Baxter. He takes the lead. The 69 car scrapes the concrete wall down main straightaway. There's Alcorn getting into a clear second spot, and look at him go out after Baxter now. Alcorn, he's got some clear space, and that's when he's dangerous. He's coming up to the race leader, David Baxter, and he's going to make a very strong challenge for this race lead with only 3 laps left remaining. Out in front, Baxter, but look at Alcorn start to wheel him in. He's left the door open. Alcorn says, thank you very much, I'll come in and sit down. He'll grab the checker flag. Baxter got the fight of his life, but it's all too late. Alcorn, he grabbed the race lead. Watch the time for this one. He's really hooked up and flying around the circuit. Pryor's doing a good job to try and come back through the field, but he lost too much ground at the start. But down they come. They've only got 1 lap left to run. Chris Alcorn, he came from the back of the field. He's got the race lead, and it's all his down back straight away in the black number 7 machine. And this is going to be a first up win to Alcorn as he comes out of the turn for the last time to grab the black and white flag. Down he comes. Chris Alcorn, super drive to take out the first race. Baxter in second place. That's David Baxter in the 31. Then we go back to the 21 of Thorley. Followed behind him by his brother in car number 20, Gary Thorley. And the 32 of Baxter will be next across the line in 5th spot. That's Michael Baxter, and Pryor in machine number 1 did a tremendous job to come from that awkward start where he got tangled up and finish up in 6th spot. 1:15.208. 1 minute 15.208 was the time recorded. And let's hear it for this man, your race winner, Chris Alcorn.
Oh, yeah, gee, that is only the first race for the night, actually race conditions against the time trials, but as Joel pointed out, he came from the back of that grid. It was a star-studded field, came from the back and won the race. That's a great drive. The last lap, our timer Ron Hawkins is telling us a flying lap time of 14.344 is actually under the 1 lap record, but it doesn't count officially during the running of an actual race. But that'll give you an indication that he was running very, very fast. Let me check those placings for you. 7, Chris Alcorn first. 31, David Baxter second. 21, Brian Thorley third. 20, Gary Thorley fourth. And 32, Michael Baxter was 5th. That was for event 2, the Wins Formula 500 Rear Markers Invitation.
And they get the green flag too to send them underway. Getting away quickly through the centre was the 84 of Peter Ingram, and he looks like he'll take up the race running as they come out of the first turn. Ingram, the race leader, but look out, here they come behind him, starting to make the charge, and it looks like one of the knots, Darryl Knott in car 93, is trying to make a charge from 3rd spot. He's challenging strongly for 2nd position, which is the number 9 of Tracy Millington, who really is starting to improve out of sight in this Formula 500 division. She started off, I think last year was the first season, and she's only getting better. and she's up there in third spot. But the race leader is the 84 of Peter Ingram in the yellow carbon. Look out, here comes Knott. In car 93, Darryl Knott starting to turn the pressure right up on the race leader Ingram. He's got him in his sights now. All he wants is a mistake. He drifted out a little bit there and he got an opening. He might sneak through to Knott. He put the poke the wheel on the inside. He got a touch. He's a little bit too over excited. He saw the gap, but he's going to have to sit back. There's 2 laps to go. There's a little bit of frustration creeping in. He can't afford to hook that front wheel onto the back tyre of Ingram because there could be all sorts of trouble. Down they come and they'll only have 1 to go. Ingram's the race leader. Look at Knott though. He's climbing all over him. He knows there's only 1 to go. The desperation up on the inside. He'll try and throw it at him. Oh, he's trying to shoulder him out of the road. Knott and Ingram, they're side by side, and Knott gets through on the inside. A good bit of aggressive driving, and it's paid off for Knott in car 93. That's Darryl Knott, and he'll come out of the turn to grab the checkered flag, and that's been a good drive to Darryl Knott in the 93. Ingram in the 84 was next. Tracy Millington, good drive for third placing, ahead of the 56 car, next across the line, driven by Brian Phillips. And then a couple others, I think it was the 26 that came in, or the 28 of Paul Murray. Paul Murray it was in the 28. Thanks, Ross, picking up 5th place. So a good drive there to the 93 of Darryl Knott. A good aggressive drive in the end. He pressured, and it paid off in the end for him. Darryl Knott takes out in a time of 1:26.782. Your race winner. Give him a round of applause because he really did deserve the win. The 93 of Darryl Knott. Okay, so riders now out and taking their position. Grant Bond in the red helmet colour will start from the inside. In the blue will be Mick Farrell. On his outside in the white helmet colour will be Darren Caife. In the black helmet colour right on the fence is Doc Fulp. And in the yellow helmet colour, Hughie Austin, who had a bit of trouble in the time trials, but he's out there to take the place. Up they come. This is the start to our big Kawasaki Newcastle Sidecar Masters. They're our sponsor tonight. Up to the line. Watch for Bond to get away quickly on the inside. Caife was quick too in the time trials. Getting ready. Tapes are up. Away they go. Except for Austin, who coughed and spluttered, but getting away quickly was Bond as they go into the first turn. And Bond now starts to stretch away from the rest of the field. Darren Caife's got into a clear second spot, and he's going to have to try and go to keep Bond in touch, but they come down to complete the first lap. And it's Grant Bond out in front. Second place is Caife. Now getting up Doc Fulp. He's gone into third placing. A good passing move on the outside to put himself up to get some extra points. And onto the infield goes Austin and the end of his heat. Down they come. It's still with 1 lap to go. Bond, he's unchallenged out in front. Second spot's being held down still by Caife in the white helmet colour. Then Doc Fulp giving chase very strongly. And then back behind them in the blue is Mick Farrell. But down out of the turn to grab the first win in this Sidecar Masters format. To the checkered flag goes Grant Bond in the red helmet colour. Takes out the first heat. Caife will be second in the white. Third will go to Doc Fulp in the black. Fourth placing will go to Mick Farrell in the blue helmet colour. And failing to finish will be Hughie Austin in the yellow helmet colour. 51.818. 51.818 is the time recorded for the race win, and it's gone to Grant Bond in the first heat. Well, Ross, Bond really is starting to set the pace. They couldn't get close to him there, and he's stamping his favouritism for tonight's event.
Yeah, well, he probably realises Mark Griffiths has got a mechanical problem, that he did finish 5th in the time trial, so it does put him in the Stars Dash, so he does have the chance to pick up the points. So even though it was a disappointing time, 5th fastest time, it still puts him in the driver's seat to pick up the big points. Now let's have a look at what happened from that heat. Grant Bond was first. He scores 5 qualifying points. Darren Caife was second, 4 qualifying points. Doc Fulp was third, 3 qualifying points. Mick Farrell was fourth, scored 2 qualifying points. And Hughie Austin failed to finish, so he didn't score any points at all. So Grant Bond 5, Mick Farrell 2, Darren Caife 4, Hughie Austin no score, Doc Fulp 3 at the end of the first heat in round 1 on our Metropolitan Motorcycle Spares scoreboard.
So just waiting for the guys to move up. Bennett and Pearce on the outside. They move up towards the tape. Just about set. Everything looks ready, and away they go. Good start, too, through the middle from Lillis. Oh, look, a couple have gone cross-country there, up onto the infield, and it was a red helmet colour, I think, of Cousins, was it? Oh, that's terrible luck for Cousins. He's going to have to get a move on now, but back up the front. Oh, look at these three riders starting to dice it out as they come past the first time and getting the best of the running. The blue helmet colour as they come past, and it's Gavin Edwards. Well, Edwards out in front, but look at Bennett come through on the inside and make a throw. Bennett on the inside, Edwards on the outside. Bennett saw the little opportunity. He keeps the throttle wound right down. They're touching side by side out of the turn, and Bennett, a good passing move with one to go. Peter Bennett takes up the race running. Edwards isn't going to give up though. Back on the inside. The red light's on though. We've got a rider in trouble in turn 3, 4, and it's the black of Brett Pearce. And it looks like it's just seized up altogether. The bike is stuck in the middle of turn 3, 4. And bad luck for Brett Pearce. His heat comes to an end, Ross. So watch for the restart here, minus Brett Pearce. They're only down to the 4 riders. Cousins on the inside, Edwards, Lillis and Bennett. Up they come. Just about set. On comes the green, away they go. Getting away quickly was Edwards once again, who gated beautifully. Into the first turn they lead. Now here's Cousins. He's going to make a throw on the outside, is he? Now he straightens himself up. But the race leader, Edwards. Here comes Cousins out of the pack, and Bennett too starting to work his way up on the inside to 3rd place. This is going to be a blanket finish, this one. Down they come, Edwards in front. Cousins now into 2nd spot. Then comes Bennett. Tailed off as Lillis. They slide their way out of turn 1, 2 and getting away Edwards. Oh, look at Bennett. Edwards is gone. Oh, crash into the side of Edwards goes the rider behind. That's a very nasty incident. There's a couple of riders down there. They're up and A-OK. He's limping around. That's a good sight that he's straight to his feet. But down back straight away, we've had an incident. The riders of Edwards and Edwards, the bike just died altogether and coming very quickly and no time to react whatsoever, Ross. The riders behind and just unfortunately slammed into the side of that sidecar, and we're just seeing that everything's A-OK. A couple of riders down, but a bit of drama in heat number 2.
Yeah, well, as you pointed out, Joel, a pure race incident involving the leading riders, and when you're going at a crackerjack pace like they are, and a bike dies, the riders behind are concentrating on making ground, and Bennett was able to sort of just dive on the inside of Edwards and miss him, but Cousins had nowhere to go and ploughed into the Edwards outfit. And let's get a check that everyone's all right. I think it's Dean Edwards limping back in through the pit gate.
Yes, and then there were 2. Another restart to heat number 2. Very action-packed heat. Watch Lillis. He gets away beautifully. He gets away absolutely wonderfully and sets himself up a little bit awkwardly, though, for the turn. He leads the race and leaves the gate open there for Bennett to come through on the inside. And I think it's put the glasses down, and Bennett's got the race advantage, and he's starting to run away from it. But as we've seen, anything can happen. So the race leader is Bennett as he comes down to complete the first lap. Lillis, he, after getting untidy in the turn number 2, is just happy now to cruise around. He's going to pick up 4 points, so that's a sensible thing, not to try and push the bike and do anything too silly. But look at Bennett. He's hooked up now. He's going to use this as a little bit of practice for a little bit later on. Out of the turn he comes and down past with only 1 to go. The race leader, Peter Bennett, slides it in, not a bad style as he comes out of turn 1, 2 and down back straight away under the Hunter Communications timer for the last time. He'll come out of turn number 3, 4, and this is going to be an easy victory to Peter Bennett in the yellow helmet colour, down to grab the checkered flag, and the heat win in race number 2 for Peter Bennett. He takes the checkered flag in 2nd place. The only other rider to finish the race will be Mick Lillis in the white helmet colour, and he'll pick up 2nd place. But that's all important that he does grab the checkered flag, because there are points on offer, and he picks up 4 points. So he can't be too disappointed with that. 54.154 the time recorded. To get underway with the action, up to the line in the blue helmet colour, Chris Pym, who was pretty quick in the time trials. Griffiths is out there as well. So he's sorted out the mechanical problems. He'll be on the outside. Watch for him. In the black helmet colour, the white of Peter Selk, and on the inside, the red of Darren Williams. They're all up to the line, ready for the start. Watch for the tapes to fly. Oh, up goes the back, onto the back wheel in the red helmet colour. Well, I meant the tapes to fly, not the passenger on the red helmet colour. Darren Williams, the red lights come on. A couple of the riders just haven't seen that yet, but gee, I think a hand might have slipped off the clutch a little bit too quick, and it reared up onto the back wheel. Off the back came the passenger of the Darren Williams, as Dion Sinclair, and he got the shock of his life, found himself on his tail on the track. Now, he has been excluded, Ross?
Yes, he's excluded for bringing on the red light, and Mark Griffiths, Joel, was not able to get his bike started, and he's now riding Greg's bike, Greg Griffiths' bike, and Greg is Mark's dad. As we said, we've got a history of wonderful family traditions in the division of sidecar racing. We've got Brett Pearce, whose dad was the great Jack Pearce, and Greg Griffiths has been around sidecar racing for a long time. Mark is his son, and they've just decided that they can't get Mark's bike going, so it's Greg Griffiths' bike, his dad's bike, that he's riding now, and he'll be having to answer the challenge as the #1 time getter.
He'll be keen here. Watch for Pitt, though, alongside him in the yellow. Away they go. Good start on the inside by the blue. Oh, Pitt nearly came undone. He bounced around as he came down main straightaway and lost a little bit of ground. He's all over the place. He's off. Oh, over the top goes the rider behind, up and over. So another incident in turn #2. A couple of riders down. And these guys are having all sorts of trouble. As Ross mentioned, a lot of prize money up for grabs, and it's showing out there. The guys just trying a little bit too hard. But Pitt, on the bike, he wrestled it down main straight away. He seemed to get it under control. It went sideways in turn #2, and then just seemed to have a mind of its own and flicked him off. And the rider coming behind, I didn't quite pick it up, Ross. It might be Peter Selk, is it? Thank you. In the white helmet colour. And once again, just had nowhere to go, but straight over the top.
Yeah, you've got the two riders involved. They were Peter Selk in the white and John Pitt in the yellow. They're the two riders involved. Pitt was the rider who got into trouble. He locked it sideways in the corner, lost his passenger, which sort of brought the bike to an almost complete halt. And again, Peter Selk, left with very little time to react, cannoned into the combination of John Pitt and Mark Arnold, and we now have the ambulance officer attending to those riders and passengers, and as soon as we have some indication from our infield communication system, we'll give you a report on the condition of those riders.
Griffiths and Pym, Griffiths in the black, Pym in the blue, ready for the restart. Away they go. They both got away okay. On the inside, Pym might have the advantage though, but Griffiths now holds the throttle on to get that slide up high on the track, round the outside. Pym leads there. Here comes Griffiths though, on the outside to make the challenge. Pym comes back at him on the inside, Griffiths on the outside. Oh, Griffiths has got the advantage though. He kept it wound on, and it might be a borrowed bike, but he's not going to back off. Out in front now, Griffiths the race leader, down back straight away. He's only got 1.5 to go. Chris Pym has tried desperately, had the race lead momentarily, but had it snatched away from Griffiths. He'll come down with only 1 to go. Griffiths leads, Pym giving chase in the blue, but I think it's all over barring any mechanical failure or accident. Down back straight away they go, and Griffiths in the black helmet colour looks like he'll take maximum 5 points in this third and final heat of round 1. Out of the turn they come, and down to the checkered flag comes Griffiths to take the win in an eventful heat #3. Pym will be second in the blue helmet colour, and they will be the only two riders to greet the checkered flag in a time of 52.122. 52.122 for the race winner, Mark Griffiths.
So on our scoreboard at the end of the first round of competition, Mark Griffiths scores 5 points and Chris Pym scores 4 points. And so the unbeaten riders at the end of the first round of heats, Grant Bond with 5 points, Peter Bennett with 5 points, and Mark Griffiths with 5 points.
To all those people that have travelled from interstate or across New South Wales, we hope you enjoyed tonight's racing. We've started off in fine fashion with some excitement, and now we're into the speed car ranks. There's some real goers out there. Keep your eye on Rod Bowen in the 75. Lights are out. We're looking for a start. They're a little bit scrapey, but away they go. They get the green flag to send them on their way into the first turn. A bit of push and shove. Oh, sideways goes. It looked like it might have been the car number 9 of Glenn Cox. And I think he went all on his own, in my opinion. It looked like he threw it just a bit too much sideways. Might have got a little touch with one of the drivers, but I think, in my opinion, ran up the back end. So Cox in car number 9 brings the race to a stoppage.
I've got to agree with you, Joel. These cars are beautifully prepared, powered by some top-class engines, and the speed cars, very popular division across the whole history of speedway racing, going right back to the halcyon days of the Sydney Showground. This is the division that the great Sir Jack Brabham started his wonderful career to eventually end up as the World Formula One Drivers' Champion and World Formula One Manufacturers' Champion. Been very few people that have been able to win both the Drivers' and Manufacturers' Championship as one. And our own great Sir Jack Brabham did that, and this is the division he started racing in, speed cars.
Okay, so they've set themselves again. Cox takes up his position. So a nice bit of luck there for Glenn Cox in car number 9. He takes his spot once again on the second row. Getting ready for the start. Les Porter in the 33 and Brian Kittle in the 54 will send them on their way. And to get the green flag, they get to go too, and away they go on the outside. Getting away quickly was Kittle in the 54. Cox, he manages to keep it together this time and darts around the outside to get into second spot. And now he's up on the outside of the race leader. Kittle looking for the race lead, but he got a bit untidy and allowed the car to come through on the inside. And that was the 92 of Paul Stanbrook. Stanbrook now on the inside, on the outside Cox. Cox comes back and grabs that second spot away. This is good racing up front. Another driver, car sideways, up and over. Into the fence, over a couple of times. There's 4 cars involved in turn number 3. So a bit of action in the speed cars now as we find a couple on the side, a couple through sideways to miss it. We're just trying to pick up some numbers. Looks like the 17 of Brett Morris, but he looks like he might just be out of the action. He threw sideways. There's definitely a couple that have gone over. Now they're just getting it back onto all 4 wheels, but once again a nasty looking incident in turn number 2. So turn number 3 with 4 cars involved. Now there's a few drivers out and walking around, so that's a good sign. But New South Wales Ambulance Service, as always, right on the spot just to make sure that the drivers are okay. But just towards the back of the field, it caught my eye. A car went around sideways. It was a white car. It got sideways, spun around, and then just once these things being open wheelers go sideways, it dug in and up and over it went a couple of times, up against the concrete wall and then back down onto the side. So a nasty looking incident, but it looks as though that all drivers that were involved are out and A-OK and walking around, so that is a good sign. But the speed cars, they kick off their season campaign with a little bit of action and excitement for the first of their heats. So we're just clearing away some of the debris. There's Morris. I can see him in car 17, Brett Morris. That's the red car. He looks like he'll be okay. He'll be able to be pushed away and maybe even rejoin this race. But a couple of other drivers won't be as lucky with the tow trucks on the infield backing themselves into position. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be minus a couple of cars for the restart. Now there's the 33 of Les Porter. He's been involved. So he's one of the drivers that's up against the concrete wall. Now another car that they're pulling onto the infield, the pink machine. Just can't quite pick a number up on it, but we'll try and work out who the driver was that went over. they're still waiting to winch him up onto the tow truck. And just got the clip, as I mentioned. Looked like he might have went around all by himself, but I just caught the tail end of it. He went sideways, dug into the track, and up and over he went. So they hoisted up onto the back, and my eyesight's not quite that good to pick that number up, but 79, thanks Ross, I knew you'd come through in the end. And it's Darren Jenkins, so Darren Jenkins, the driver involved in the incident. He really is a goer in this class too, Jenkins. 8 laps the journey. Tetron Engineering bring us the first heat. The green flag gets them underway as they pass the Witch's Hat on the outside, and down they come with Kittle in the 54. He takes up where he left off, but look out, here comes Glenn Cox in the black number 9 machine, trying to slice his way through the field, looking for that opening on the inside, but Kittle has got a nice line. He's going to make Cox work hard for this race lead. Kittle leads, look out, here comes Rocket Rod Bowen in the black 79, I should have guessed, on the inside. Bowen, he doesn't back off, he's not afraid to go through and mix it up front, and he's looking for the lead, but full credit to Kittle. He's not going to surrender the lead that easily to Bowen. Bowen now sees the opportunity through on the inside, and tracking through too. It's a 73, got a good split, Scott Jenkins, and he's come up, and Brett Morris is starting to come out of the pack. This is good tight racing from the speed car guys. Down they come, they'll have 5 left to go, but they're going to have to get going if they want to catch Rod Bowen.
Yeah, Rod Bowen's got a really good break. Scott Jenkins is the guy travelling through in second place, and keep an eye on Brett Morris. Brett Morris holding down third place in the red car. He'll put some pressure to Jenkins as they come out of turn 4. Rod Bowen's a clear leader. Forget about him. Concentrate on the guys running second and third. That's Jenkins and Morris. And Morris, don't ride him off. He's just waiting his moment, waiting for the opportunity to get to Jenkins if he can. Here's the chance now. Almost came up on the inside of Jenkins. Now we'll have another go at him going out of turn 2. Jenkins is running second. Morris is running third. But Rod Bowen's only got 2 to go.
Oh, Bowen streak right away, but look at the battle for second spot. They're starting to really hot up. Jenkins has got the second spot covered, but look out, here comes Morris in the 17, trying as hard as he can. He threw it into the turn, really sideways, and now he's starting to try and search for a way through, but he's starting to run out of time. 1 lap left to go for Rocket Rod Bowen in the black 75. Look at the battle for second. Holding on is Jenkins. Morris throws that car into the first turn, but he just can't quite make up the ground. Now he's going to try and go. He's only got 1 lap. Bowen got all untidy and nearly threw it away. Down to the checkered flag. Bowen's first. Jenkins is going to hold on. Is he good race for second? Jenkins ahead of the 17 of Morris, who just picks up third. Ahead of the 92 machine, he'll be next across the line, Paul Stanbrook. Kittle faded back to 5th place after leading early. And one of the last couple to come across the line. And a new 8-lap record has fallen to Rocket Rod Bowen, and can't this man pedal around a speed car? The 75 Rod Bowen 157.155 is a new 8-lap track record broken by Rocket Rod Bowen in car 75, and he takes out the first heat of our Tetron Engineering Speed Cars round number 1. So cars now will start to form themselves up. Dave Lambert in car 4 will be off the front row of the grid, and Phil Chilton will start with him as well. Keep your eye on the Victorian 33 of Mark Brown, who does take a liking to the Newcastle circuit. We've seen him here a few times, and has figured in the top 3. Adam Clark as well, yes, watch for him in the green machine, number 76. He really is an up-and-comer in this speed car ranks. The 3 of Gavin Lear as well is one that goes, so some hot drivers here. Keep your eyes on the action, because there's going to be plenty. 8 laps, lights are out, look for the race start this time. Oh, a little bit shaky there. They got the green flag though to send them on their way. Chilton got away to an early start, and he grabs the race advantage into the first turn. Now they go through a little bit slippery and skatey with the conditions, but they seem to be handling it okay. There's Chilton drifting a little bit wide though, and allows the 31 to come through on the inside. Tony Absent, and he's no stranger to the winner's circle here at the Motordrome. We saw him in the compact speed cars in the season debut, and he took out the feature. So he's out there having a good time. He's had a couple of practice laps here on the first opening meeting, and he's doing well out in front. Second spot now getting up as the 56 car of Jason Hendy. Another driver too is starting to make his presence felt in this speed car ranks, and he finds himself in second spot with Phil Chilton in car 40 right behind, and Lambert in car number 4. They're making up the top 4, but they're going to have to go because Abson's starting to give them the slip. The best of the rest of 56 trying to make up ground is Jason Hendy, but he can't seem to make any inroads, and he's starting to pull away from Chilton in third spot, and here comes the Lear in car number 3 up into 4th place.
Yeah, I think the action's back in the race here behind the number 40 car of Phil Chilton. And Phil Chilton coming under pressure from Gavin Lear. Lear tried to get up on the inside. There was no room for him. He had to back away. Now he comes at Chilton again. Chilton desperately trying to hold Lear out. Right behind, set to pounce, Dave Lambert. And coming out, Dave Lambert looks to try and put some pressure on. Gavin Lear gets up on the inside. This time he gets by Chilton all right. And now Gavin Lear goes into third place, and that relegates fourth to Chilton. And the rest of them fight their way out behind our race leader, who has only 1 lap to run.
And he's streaked right away from the rest of the field, Tony Absom. 1 more lap left to go. He gets the white flag, throws it into turn 1-2. Nice style about mid-track. Down back straight away he goes, with only clear track ahead of him. He'll come out of turn 3-4 to grab the checkered flag, and a Heat 2 win. It goes to the 31 of Tony Absom. A good drive to pick up first place. Second place will be Hendy in the 56. The 3 of Lear will be next, followed by Chilton in the 40, just ahead of Lambert in car 4. Clark came home quickly ahead of Brown, with the 6 being one of the last to come across the line. Troy Jenkins ahead of the 16 of Mohamed Fouani. 159.949, 159.949 is the time recorded for heat number 2, and the race win has gone to the 31 of Tony Abson. Yeah. Fault there in the white helmet colour. The 24 machine, he moves up to the line. The yellow of Chris Pym, so this will be a good heat, as Ross mentioned. And waiting for the red helmet colour of Darren Cape to move up. Only the 4 starters in this one. Now the lights are out. Just waiting for Cape to move up. Fault out on his outside. Yellow of Pym and Bond in the black. Getting ready, looking set this time. Watching the tapes to fly, they do, away they go. Fault got away quickly through the middle, and he'll go to the race lead, but right around the outside, Grant Bond snatches the victory. 2 riders there locked together towards the back of the pack, and that was Fault, and also the red helmet colour of Cape, and they've got snagged up but managed to free themselves. It may be all over though. Bond grabs the race lead. Second place giving chase in the yellows, Chris Pym. He's going to get himself within striking distance, but he's going to have to go because Bond really has got it hooked up. Back in third, Fault. Then tail up at the back of the pack is Cape. But Grant Bond, he really is shaping up to be the rider to beat tonight. I can't wait to see when he clashes with Griffith. Only 1 to go. Second spot in the yellow helmet colour is Chris Pym. He's chased desperately, and Fault has got a little bit of a battle on his hands towards the back of the field, with Cape now trying to grab up those extra points, but out of the final turn to grab the checkered flag and yet another race win. It's Grant Bond in the black helmet colour takes it out. Second will be the yellow of Chris Pym. Close to third, and getting up right on the line was Cape. He snatched it away from Doc Fulp, who finishes in 4th placing. And they are the only 4 riders that will greet the checkered flag. 52.387, 52.387 is the time recorded for the race win, and makes it an undefeated streak that goes to Grant Bond. Away they go in heat number 2, round 2, and the only 2 starters here, Bennett in the blue helmet colour and Mick Farrell on the yellow. Farrell on the inside, Bennett on the outside, but Bennett grabbed the race advantage, and he streaks away now as they go down back straight away to come down for the first time. The race leader now, Peter Bennett. He takes over from Farrell, who was stuck down on the inside of the track. Now they managed to try and get their way through, but it's all too late for them. Down back straight away, out of turn 1-2 for the sidecars, and under the Hunter Communications timer, and it's all Peter Bennett. It could come down to Bennett, Bond, and also Griffiths tonight. I would imagine those 3 will be up there figuring in the placings. There's only 1 to go for Bennett. They see the white flag. Mick Farrell, he's out there, and it's all important that he grabs the checkered flag, because he's guaranteed of 4 points in this one, and that might nearly put him into the grand final. Out of the turn they come for the last time, and the race winner will be in the blue helmet colour on machine number 3. Peter Bennett grabs the checkered flag in heat number 2 from Mick Farrell in the yellow helmet colour, and they're the only 2 riders, unfortunately, that were able to make the track. 56.284, the race time for winner Peter Bennett.
Okay, let's have a look at our Metropolitan Motorcycle Spares scoreboard. Peter Bennett scores 5 points, and that takes him on to 10, so he is now unbeaten with Grant Bond. Second place going to Mick Farrell. He scores 4 points, takes him on to 6, and he was the only rider to score there. Peter Selk and Brett Pearce and Les Cousins all out for the remainder of the night. So at this stage, top point scorers, Grant Bond and Peter Bennett, both on 10 points. Chris Pym is on 8 points, Darren Caife on 7, and Mick Farrell on 6, with Doc Falk on 5 after 2 rounds. Coming up here is Heat 3, and Steve Houston is out, and Mick Lillis takes his place. Hughie Austin will be A-OK. Mark Griffiths is sitting on 5 points. He is unbeaten as well tonight. Gavin Edwards and Darren Williams will complete the field. We've got 5 outfits on the track, so a full field for heat number 3.
Riders now mounted up, ready to go for heat 3. As Ross mentioned, this is the last heat in round number 2, and then we only have one more round of qualifying points up for grabs before we get underway with our Stars Dash and also our consolation final and then our grand final. Big chance to pick up big points in the grand final. 8 points up for grabs. And also the consolation final. They're the chance to add points towards their overall Sidecar Masters format tally. So up to the line, the red helmet colour, we've got Lillis. In the blue helmet colour on his outside, Hughie Austin. Mark Griffiths in the white, watch for him to go quickly. Yellow of Edwards, they've gone pretty well too. And right off Edwards in the yellow helmet colour and in the black. Darren Williams, will they manage to keep all 3 wheels on the ground this time round? Up to the start. Watch for this one. This will be a good heat. Oh, getting away very quickly was the rider in the yellow helmet colour, Gavin Edwards. Got away to a flyer, but so too did Griffith. And he shoulders his way through to grab the race lead. Griffiths leads now. Edwards in second spot. Getting up quickly into third place was Darren Williams in the black helmet colour. And in the turn they come. Oh, they had to back up. Oh, Griffiths is gone. The bike's died altogether. Running well over again. And we're only tipped over on the side. This is good work from Griffiths. They're going to get the machine off the track. Oh, good work, fellas. Well done. The race continues, and that's very unselfish work there from Griffiths, managing to get up on the inside and push it off the track, but back to the race lead in the yellow helmet colour in the meantime. Shot to the race lead, it's Edwards. He leads the way. Second place giving chase is Williams, then back in third place. In the blue helmet colour, we've got Hughie Austin, and tailed off is Lillis in the red helmet colour, but out of the final turn to grab the checkered flag, and these pair could be the dark horse of the night. Down to grab it, Edwards in the yellow helmet colour takes it out. Gavin Edwards first. Second place will go to Darren Williams in the black. Third, and getting the machine back together, Hughie Austin in the blue helmet colour. And fourth place will go to Mick Lillis in the red helmet colour with Mark Griffith. And Ross, that you've got to take your hat off. That's a very unselfish piece of display there from those guys. 55.113, but they could have stayed on the track. They could have brought it to a halt, but they knew they were out, so well done to the guys.
Great sportsmanship shown by Mark Griffiths and Chris Wilson to make every effort to get clear of that track as quickly as they could.
Okay, we're about to get underway. This is heat 3 of the Speedcars, brought to us by Castrol. Look for the green flag and they get it. Lambert got away quickly on the outside, so too did the 56 coming through. That's Hendy, and he's driven well tonight so far, and he's up there boxing on for the race lead with Lambert. Look for a move out of the pack. Here comes young Adam Clark in the green 76 machine, round the outside into third placing, and now he's got Hendy in his sights. He's going to try and grab that second spot. He's persisting with the high line. Hendy now tries to dive through on the inside of Lambert. Look at Clark right around the outside. That's where the drive is, and he drives straight to the lead. Thank you very much, says Clark, and grabs the race lead away from Lambert now, who drops back into second spot. And Hendy, who persisting with that inside pass, and it's definitely not the way around. Clark showed that it pays off to go up high and get a little bit of loose that's been thrown up high on the track. Clark leads, Lambert in second spot, then comes Hendy. Coming out the pack very quickly is John Dark. In car number 2, up on the inside of Hendy he goes. Oh, slides his way through. Hendy climbed over the back of him. They came away okay. Looked like it might have been a bit of a nasty incident shaping up there, but it managed to sort itself out okay. Down they come with 4 to go. Clark leads. Lambert in second spot, giving chase strongly. Then we've got Dark in car number 2, and here comes Cox. He's managed to work his way up into 4th placing. This has been a good drive from Cox, but they've only got 3 to go, and it's all Adam Clark.
Yeah, Adam Clark, youngster from Newcastle, right away out in front. No one else a chance of catching him. But a good battle for the minors. Steve Lambert running second. Third place is John Dark. The 9 car of Glenn Cox, and he's getting out of the pack. He moves up to 4th. But coming down to get the white flag, only 1 lap to go, and it's all Adam Clark from Newcastle.
Yes, young Adam Clark really is an up-and-coming star in this rank. He grabs the white flag with clear track ahead of him and behind, throws it into the turn, a nicely prepared machine too, as he races under the communications timer, out of turn 3, 4, down to grab the checkered flag, and a heat win goes to young Adam Clark in the 76 machine. One of the locals manages to grab the win. It's going to be close for second. Lambert grabs second, but Dark just holds on from a fast-finishing Cox for third. Behind them then was Hendy in the 56. Morris next across the line. There goes Mohammed Fawani in the 16, the 54 of Brian Kittle. And he'll be one of the last to grab the checkered flag. 158.723. 158.723, the time recorded, and very quick lap times there was being clocked for our race winner, Adam Clark. Lights are out, we're ready for a start this time round. They look pretty good too. All nice, neatly bunched up, ready for the start. They look for the green flag and they get it too. Chilton got away quickly on the outside, getting away quicker with Stanbrook, and he goes to the lead. A little bit of a touch from the car behind. That was the 73 of Scott Jenkins, and Jenkins now out after Stanbrook. And coming from the field is Rocket Rod Bowen up in the 3rd spot already, and watch for him to move on these 2 up front. Stanbrook leads. Jenkins climbing all over him in 2nd spot. Then Rocket Rod Bowen. They know the importance here. They can't let Bowen get a clear track, because if he gets out in front, that could be all over. Round the outside, Jenkins. Oh, he got the drive he wanted. Round the outside of Stanbrook, and I think it frightened him a bit too. Now Bowen tried to have a crack at Stanbrook on the inside, but got squeezed out for room. The gap opened up and it closed just as quick. Down they come with 5 to go. The race leader is still the 73 machine of Scott Jenkins. He leads comfortably from 2nd place. Stanbrook, look at Bowen. Bowen's trying to get past Stanbrook in 2nd spot. He's trying everything he can, and he's starting to run out of laps. He gets a bit closer to him there, but had to back off. Down they come. Jenkins still leads. 2nd spot, Stanbrook. Then Bowen. Bowen tried to come through on the inside once again. There's trouble back towards the back of the pack. A couple got tangled up, and involved was the 6th machine of Troy Jenkins, and I think he may have got a little touch with Gavin Lear. No, Lear's going again, so maybe even the 33 of Mark Brown. Just got the touch, enough to send him round sideways and bring the race to a stoppage. Look for the start. They can get the green from the Witch's Hats over under the Hunter Communications timer. And watch Jenkins. He'll slow him down until he gets close, and then he'll step on the gas to get the green. Now they've got it, away they go. Jenkins has got the race lead, but look at him come. Stanbrook, Bowen trying to get the advantage from the restart, but he couldn't quite sneak up on the inside. Brady behind him. Down they come. They're really tightly bunched behind this race leader, Jenkins. Look at Stanbrook. He's going to hold off the charge from Bowen and also Brady. And now the Victorian Brown starting to join in. So this is going to be a very... Oh, Lear's gone. The car's just gone on their steering. Looked like it just went all together. It might be even a flat tyre on the front. But it's just gone all together. And he hasn't been able to bring it down off the track. It just seemed to want to go up towards the concrete wall. And that's where he's parked himself in the middle of turn 3-4. And once again brings the race to a stoppage. And now the black flag's coming out to the car. Black flag is coming out to the 33, the New South Wales 33 of Les Porter. So obviously the officials have seen something there that they're not happy with. They cautioned him a couple of times, and now he's been black flagged. So obviously some sort of mechanical defect, you'd think, or some sort of bodywork or something that's been deemed to be too dangerous to continue. So he's got the black flag and he's onto the infield, and we've got the race restart once again with Gavin Lear, the man, bringing the race to a stoppage. So 4 laps. Jenkins, Stanbrook, Bowen, Brady and Brown. Still anyone's race. As the green light goes, well, they've let him go. And Jenkins, look at Bowen on the inside now. He's going to try and press for this second spot and take it away from Stanbrook. But Stanbrook's not going to... Oh, Bowen! He kept it flat. Through on the inside. Oh, that's a great passing move from Bowen. He kept the foot planted, didn't back it off, and it's paid off. And look out, Jenkins, because here comes Rocket Bowen. Brady's got up in the 3rd spot. Stanbrook's got back the 4th spot. But look at Bowen reel in this race leader. He's starting to make ground on the Jenkins out in front. And Jenkins starting to come under pressure from Bowen. Bowen in 2nd place. Only 2 laps to go. This is where the interest will be. Rod Bowen up on the inside of Jenkins. He only a couple more laps he'll need, and that's all he's got. 1.5 to go. Bowen on the inside, Jenkins on the outside. Oh, what a drive. Rod Bowen, take your hat off to this man. Well, that's a gutsy, determined piece of driving, and one of the best drives I've ever seen here in the Speedcars from this man, Rod Bowen, out of turn 3-4, and well, this man is an absolute genius. Down to the checkered flag, Bowen in the 75, he's a freak. 2nd spot is Jenkins, he can't believe it. 3rd place will go to Brady in the 7, then behind him, Gavin Lear, I think, might have flashed up for 4th ahead of Stanbrook, who finished well back in 5th spot. And what an absolute freak, Ross, this man, Rod Bowen. He's taken the race with no time recorded. But Bond in the yellow, in the white helmet colour, will be keen to make it an undefeated run for his 3rd heat. On the inside, Fulp in the red, in the blue helmet colour, we've got Chris Pym, Grant Bond in the white, and in the yellow, Hughie Austin. Watch for Fulp on the inside, and Bond through the middle. Away they go. Bond got away to a flying start, so too did Fulp, but Bond got away best and now works his way across the front of the field to grab the race lead. Getting into 2nd spot in the red helmet colour was Doc Fulp. He's managed to sneak up on the inside to grab 2nd spot away. Now he's out after Bond, the race leader. Grant Bond leads. Doc Fulp in 2nd spot. Then we've got back in 3rd place, giving chase quickly in the blue helmet colour, Pym. Pym's going to look for 2nd place. That's where the battle is, whether Pym can get up and grab Doc Fulp. Fulp hanging on to 2nd place. He can forget about Bond. He's got it all wrapped up. Pym trying to get through on Fulp. He's searching for a way up high on the track now. Fulp hanging on. Pym just throwing everything he can at him. Tailed right off of the back of the field. In the yellow is Hughie Austin. Look at Pym go on the inside. He tried to come through on Fulp, but Fulp came back. Down to the checkered flag. Bond's going to be the winner. Look out for 2nd place, so it's going to be close. Doc Fulp will hang on. And trouble there for Pym. The bike's died. Will he get across the line? He's just rolling across. Whoa! Photo, but I think Pym just got up on the line over Austin, and that bike has said, I've had enough, and that's as far as I'm going. So Pym just managed to roll across the line in 3rd place. In my opinion, of course, that's not official, but it is official. Yes, they've given us the official nod. Pym just managed to roll across the line. So we'll go now to Ross to go through the placings.
Grant Bond first, 5 points, and that takes him on to 15 after the 3 heats undefeated. Doc Fulp second, he gets 4 points and a total of 9. Third place to Chris Pym, and he gets 3 points for a total of 11. And Hughie Austin gets 2 points for a total of 5. And that's the fastest time of the night so far in the sidecars, 51.717.
Bennett in the yellow, Edwards in the blue on the inside. Bennett will start in the middle in the yellow, and on the outside in the black, Mick Lillis. Get ready, only the 3 starters. Lights are out. Look for the start. Away they go. Oh, Bennett reared up, so too did Edwards. They both got away to a sloppy start, and that's allowed the rider in the black helmet colour, Lillis, to grab the race lead. So Lillis leads. Down back straight away they go. He's got the race lead because the other two got away to a pretty shabby start, and down they come with Lillis, the race leader in the black helmet colour, giving chase Bennett, and here comes Edwards. Edwards now trying to make his way up into second spot, but Bennett's got that second place covered. Oh, over, off and up, and oh, into the back. Well, another dreadful incident with a bike going over the rider behind, not stopping, and the rider down two in big trouble, hasn't moved at all. So a big concern being shown for one of the riders. You could see the bodywork came off Lillis and Edwards, the race leaders. A bit of bodywork came off Ross. I saw it get tangled up with the front tyre, and it's thrown them sideways. They've gone up and over, nearly an identical situation to the earlier 2 incidents where the rider behind just had no time to do anything, and that was poor Edwards, and he had nowhere to go but to career into the side. And a lot of concern, Ross, being shown for one rider down there that just hasn't moved.
Well, we thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being so patient whilst the rescue helicopter attended to Gavin Bayliss. He was the injured rider. Gavin is being taken to John Hunter Hospital. I can assure you that he is conscious, he is talking, he's able to complain about some pains in his back and his neck. He can move his toes and move his fingers, but the ambulance officials did not want to take any chances at all with the extent of the injuries, and so we thank you very much for being so patient.
In the yellow helmet colour, Mick Bennett. In the blue we've got Pym. In the red, Caife. And in the white, Williams. They make up the 6 top riders. Nope. There's only 5. Sorry, Williams has just got it started there. He might be sorting some things out. Get ready for the start. Lights go green. Up go the tapes and off they go. Rearing in the air on the inside was the red colour of Cape. But getting round the outside to grab the race lead, it's Bond. Bond leads. Bennett into cell. Fire! Fire! There's a bike on fire there towards the back of the field. The flames coming out the side. Onto the infield they go. They're looking for the crews to get across there quick smart, because that fire's burning away. Now they're onto it quick smart and get it out. But back to the race. Bond starting to streak away from the field. Look at the battle for the minor placings. They're starting to really dice it up behind Bond. Bond's got clear of the rest of the field, but the best of the rest so far, Bennett. But look at the pressure coming on the inside. What a move. Good pass passing move from Cave. He grabs second spot away from Bennett. Bennett now is going to try and come back at him. Cave's got up into second place, but I think Bennett's in trouble. That bike doesn't seem to be getting the power out that he needs. Down to the checkered flag. It's all over by the shouting. Bond grabs the win. Second place is going to be close. Oh, good stuff from Cave. He gets the passenger gets the pat on the back. Bennett will pick up third placing in the yellow helmet colour, and the only other rider to finish will be Doc Folt in the black helmet colour with Chris Pym. He was really on fire. He was literally on fire in that one. The flames just started to spew out the side. He pulled off onto the infill, 51.413 the time recorded. And it's actually the fastest race of the night. Been informed the fastest race of the night. So Grant Bond has come through with the fastest time, 51.413, to take out our Pit Crew Sidecar Masters Stars Dash, and he picks up the maximum 5 to kick off his tally for this Sidecar Masters series. He'll get a maximum 5 points. Second place has gone to Cafe, and a tremendous ride by Cafe to pick up the 4 points. 3 points goes to Bennett. Let's hear it for Bond. That's a great effort from Bond. He really has turned it on tonight. Undefeated. He keeps that record intact, and he takes out the win in our Stars Dash. Third placing's gone to Bennett in the yellow helmet colour. Fourth placing went to Doc Folt, and the only other rider that didn't complete the race was Pym in the blue helmet colour, who failed to finish. But a great effort, and fantastic. These guys really are in top form, and they just seem to be getting better and better as the seasons go on. So we'll go down trackside for some trophy presentations to Ross Allen.
Thank you very much, Joel, and it's congratulations. Grant Bond, Victor Gavinlock. Please accept these trophies from Pit Crew as winners of the Stars Dash in the opening round of our series for the Sidecar Masters. Grant, we're having one heck of a night here tonight.
Yeah, it's been a shocking night for the injuries. I'd just like to thank Peter Gabriel again for running the series. Victor for doing a great job. My sponsors, Dr. Mac, Globus Group, Steggles Food, for all their help. And I hope next round the series we'll get a few more starters and it'll be a good night.
We've already had indication from Queensland and Western Australia that the guys want to get over here and challenge, so you might have something to contend with next time.
Yeah, I'd say the next one will be a lot harder. Darren Trelaw will be back and a few interstaters, so it should be a good meeting.
And you've still got the grand final to go tonight. Can you make it an unbeaten night?
Well, I'd like to think so, but we'll see what happens.
Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Bond, Victor Gavinlock, winners of our Sidecar Stars Dash.
Good field of Formula 500s. Let's keep our fingers crossed that they can get through this first turn. It's going to be helter-skelter. A lot of Formula 500s all charging into that first turn. Good field. 8 laps the journey for our Mid-Coast Petroleum handicap feature. Lights are flashing. Get ready for the race start. They get the green flag. Send them on their way. Phillips got away quickly. Oh, a little bit of push and shove towards the back of the pack. They're bumping off each other. Oh, there's a couple in trouble. One up on the infield. No, they managed to get through okay. So no major incidents out of the first turn. Look up front though, and some of the back markers starting to come through. That could be all over. The 20 of Thorley gets to the race lead. That's Gary Thorley, and he's going to start to run away with it. 46 of Garland in second place. Now we've got some trouble. The yellow lights come on now. There's a car on the back straightaway, and it's the 70 of Brian Harris, who was just on an awkward part of the track. So the yellow lights had to come on. And due to just this position that he was in on the far side of the track, the 70 of Brian Harris is the guy in trouble, and the race had to be brought to a stoppage. So bad luck for Thorley. That's Gary Thorley in the 20. He got away to a cracker of a start. Wait for the lights to flash. Not quite ready. Now they are. Everything's set. Ready to go, and they get the green flag once again, getting away quickly with Thorley. A little bit of push and shove. They're getting tightly bunched up. They get through okay, though. Down back straight away, and the race leader, Phillips, is starting to come under pressure from Knott, and here comes Thorley. Gary Thorley on the inside, now up into second spot. Oh, look out behind, up and over goes a couple. Oh, a couple got mixed up there, tangled together. Might have been the 56, is it, or the 46? Might be Brian Phillips, is it? No. It is the 69, I think. Looks like the same on its lid as it does on all four wheels. So it must be the 69, but two cars involved once again. They just got tangled together towards the back of the field, and it was enough to bounce them around, enough to go over. Looks like it might be the 55 or 58. We just can't quite pick the number up, but we'll endeavour to see just actually what number that is. Everything's cleared away. Seem to be A-OK. Light's still solid. Now they flash. Looking for a start. Can Thorley get away to another flyer? They get the green flag. On the outside it was Murray and Baxter. This time Baxter takes advantage of the restart. They get their way through. Oh, there's Harris getting close to the concrete wall. They managed to sort themselves out. Here they come. Here comes Gary Thorley and also Brian Thorley trying to push their way up towards the leaders. And oh, Baxter got the split. Straight through the middle. Here comes Pryor. Pryor's come from nowhere on the inside. Tony Pryor up in the second spot. Gary Thorley on the outside. The 32 of Baxter on the inside. Round the outside of Michael Baxter goes Pryor. And straight to the race lead. And that could be all over Red Rover. Pryor in front. Baxter in second spot. Then comes the 21. And that's Brian Thorley. And behind them in fourth spot, Gary Thorley and Chris Alcorn now starting to come out of the field. But it might be all too late for them because they've got to catch this man out in front. The current Australian and New South Wales champ, the number one, Tony Pryor. And once he gets a bit of clear space, well, that's about good night because he gets right away with it. Watch for the time here if there's any. I don't think there will be. But away they go and Pryor. They're not going to get close to him. Second spot is Brian Thorley. Then we've got Gary Thorley in the white number 20 car in third place. Out of turn 1, 2 he goes. But he's all over the shop now and needs to get it under control if he's to get up into second placing. But he's got a long, long way to go. There's only 3 laps remaining. Second place is being held down by the 21 of Brian Thorley. And he doesn't seem to be making any inroads on this race leader. It's all Tony Pryor. 2 more laps left to run in this feature. And Tony Pryor, he really is a cut above the rest here. He's the Australian champion. He's the New South Wales champion for the Formula 500. And he's out there showing just why that is. Down he comes to grab the white flag. 1 lap left to go. Tony Pryor, the race leader. Up to one of the slower cars, here comes Phillips. Round the outside of Phillips he goes with the greatest of ease. Down back straight away. And he's only got half a lap to complete to grab the checkered flag in his feature. And a great drive goes to Tony Pryor in car 1. He takes the win. Second place goes to 21 of Brian Thorley. Then Gary Thorley in the 20. The 7 of Alcorn did a tremendous job to finish in 4th place. Behind him, Michael Baxter in the 32, followed by Murray. Morris was next. Then came David Baxter Garland in the 46. And 2 minutes, 2 minutes, .242 is another record, is a 8-lap record, 2 minutes exactly, .242 seconds. And the record goes to that man who, with the number 1 on the side, and just showing why he has got the number 1 on the side, Tony Pryor. He takes out our Mid-Coast Petroleum Formula 500 handicap feature. How about a big round of applause as Tony does his lap of honour, because that really was a good effort. And well done to Tony to take out the feature from the back of the pack. Well done, Tony. Picks up the win. Second place went to the 21 of Brian Thorley. Third place went to Gary Thorley in machine number 20. Chris Alcorn was in 4th place in the 7 machine. And the 32 of Michael Baxter picked up 5th spot in a new 8-lap record time of 2 minutes exactly, .242. 2 minutes, .242, the new 8-lap record going to Tony Pryor. Oh, this is the Sidecar Masters final brought to us by Kawasaki Newcastle. Let the good times roll. Williams, the 45, the blue helmet, Fulp in the red. Back behind them, Bond on the outside in the orange, Bennett in the black, and Kate in the black and yellow. Red lights are still on. Once the lights go out, as Ross said, that will indicate for the riders to be ready. Once the green comes on, Getting ready for the start. Oh, away they go too. A couple getting away quickly from behind was Bennett, and Cape got away the best of the riders off 30. Round the outside goes Bond, but the race leader is Williams. Here comes Bond, round the outside of Fob. He's grabbing them in very quickly. He's out after Williams, a race leader. Bond in second spot. He's determined to win this one. He's giving chase. Williams high on the track. Will Bond go low, or will he elect to go up high? He tucks it down low. Coming from behind though, here comes Cape making a challenge in third spot. Down the back straight, Williams is holding on. Bond throwing everything at him. Try to get up on the inside. It's 6 laps, so there's still 4 to go. Bond, now he sees the chance and says thank you and grabs it. Goes to the race lead. Williams come back at him. He said, no you don't, Bondy. Oh, get out of the way. And he's knocked him off, and off goes the passenger. Up go the arms to say, what the hell's going on? This is not the stock car division. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Well, he took a bit of a dislike to what happened. Bond snuck through. Williams then said he took an exception to it, came back at Bond, gave him the touch, around went Bondy. The poor passenger, Victor Gavinlock, tried to hang on, but he just couldn't hang on, came off the back, and the red light came on straight away. Ready for the start. Oh, Bennett got away a bit early, so too did Cape on the inside. But in the first turn they go. Bond got away slowly and finds himself at the tail. Now he gets to that outside running and kicks on. He seems to get the drive. Oh, does he what? Round the outside, on the inside, Bennett. They were nearly 3 abreast coming around the turn. It's all Bond though. He's got the race lead. In second spot, Cape. Then comes Bennett. He dropped back to third place. He got shuffled back very quickly and seems to have a little bit of trouble with that bike. I think it doesn't seem to be giving him the power that he needs out of it, but there's no such problems for the race leader. That's Bond. Down he comes to complete another lap. Second spot is Cape. Then comes Bennett, but look at Bond, the style. He's so smooth. He really has matured as a speedway sidecar racer over the past couple of years, and has turned out to be a fantastic rider, and he's way out in front and looks like he's got this one shot to pieces. Down he comes, Grant Bond in the yellow number 27. 3 laps left to run. Kate's still in second, Bennett still in third. There's been no change as they go out of turn 1, 2 and down back straight away. Bond now starting to go away from these two behind him, and Bennett now starting to struggle with that machine, giving him all sorts of problems. Kate in second spot. He hasn't given up chase in the black and white helmet colour, but he's got a long way to go if he's going to catch this race leader Bond. And Bennett, well, you can forget about him. He's just rolling around. Down they come. 1 lap left to run, and take nothing away from Grant Bond. He really has been the rider of the night, and he deserves this final win. Into the final turn, down back straight away, sets himself up nicely, gets the drive out, down under the Hunter Communications timer. He'll come out at turn 3, 4 for the last time. Let's hear it for the local guy, Grant Bond. He takes the final. Grant Bond first. Oh, just in time too, because the motor, I think, has just gone on him. So it's been a very eventful night. Second place will go to Cape. They've ridden well tonight too for their second placing. And third place, coming across the line, will be Bennett in the black helmet colour for third. It's great effort by the sidecar guys. 1:42.875 the time recorded, and that man has made it an undefeated and a new record. Well, once again, a 6-lap record, so really show your appreciation to Grant Bond as he does his lap of honour. He's turned it on for you fans tonight. Really has put some great racing, smashed the record as well. So 6 seconds faster. Well done, Grant Bond and Victor Gavinlock. Good. 12 laps the journey. Get ready for a start. The Video Easy Modified, heat number 1. And away they go too. Fraser got away quickly on the outside to come across and take the advantage. Oh, into the turn, but the 35 of Harding says, no, you don't, and bounced through on the inside to grab the race running. Fraser got trapped high on the track, and 3 cars came through on the inside. He's very high up on the wall. Now he tries to come across and nearly cleans up a couple. But back up front, here comes Cassidy. Cassidy starting to make the real serious challenge for the lead. Oh, bang, across the front of Harding. Yes, Cannon saw the gap on the inside open up, and he came through quickly to grab second spot. And going through with him too was Graham Edmund in car 12 to move up into third place, with Harding all over the shop, and allowing Colin O'Toole as well to move up into 4th place. And Kevin Hopwood too says thank you very much. If you're going to drive up near the concrete wall, I'll come through on the inside. Cassidy now under pressure from Cannon. Cannon on the inside. Cassidy on the outside. Oh, Edmund too came from nowhere to join in the battle. He moves up into 2nd place. So the race lead now, Cassidy. He's starting to come under pressure from Edmund, and also Cannon there too, who made a tiny mistake, and he's paid for it. Round he went. Well, they all balked. They all got the little touch. Cassidy threw it into the turn. The car didn't seem to have the power. It died off a little bit, and that set off a little bit of a chain reaction. Edmund was lucky to keep his car under control. Cannon wasn't so lucky. He got a little bit of a touch behind him, and around he went onto the infield to bring the race to a stoppage with 8 laps left remaining. There's the 23 of Greg Smith, nicely prepared, modified towards the back of the field, his first night tonight. But 8 laps to go. Cassidy and Edmund. Watch for Graham Edmund here. He'll be trying to make the best of the restart. Cannon, O'Toole, Hopwood and Fraser, the top 6. As they get ready, lights flashing, and away they go, and Edmund it was from the race restart, grabs the advantage and goes to the lead. I don't know whether Cassidy's car's on song tonight. It seems to be lacking a little bit of power as they go down back straight away, and Graham Edmonds taking full advantage of that out in front in car 12. Cassidy in second. He's got enough power though to hold off Cannon in third spot. And we've got Colin O'Toole followed by Hopwood. And Fraser's the best of the rest of the field that are battling it out behind these ones up front, and it's Edmund in car number 12, starting to stretch his race lead with 6 to go. He's not under any sort of pressure from Cassidy in second, but Cassidy's starting to come under some pressure from the 70 of Cannon, who now moves up to try and get in a little bit of trouble down main straightaway, but they sort themselves out okay. Edmund in front, Cassidy in second spot. Then we've got the 70 of Cannon. Well, he nearly, I think something's gone on the car. Yeah, I think the steering or something's gone on him. That's bad luck for him. Something flew off the machine, so he's in a bit of trouble, and he's going to look to pull onto the infield. Now, here comes Edmund up to the slower cars. Now, the Cannon car is the car that's causing the problem. Something, I think, flew off the car as he came out of the turn, and it just seemed to go all together. And I think it might even be the steering. He just doesn't seem to be able to get off the top of the track, and he stops dead in turn number 3. Colin O'Toole and Kevin Hopwood really is starting to impress in this modified division. He's up there in 4th spot. Now it's going to be a single file restart with only the 4 laps remaining. A single file restart. Sees Graham Edmund with Cannon now pulling onto the infield. Bad luck for Scott Cannon. Lights are flashing. They're ready to go. Cassidy's keen to make it 2 rows. And they do just that. Edmund now and Cassidy side by side. Cassidy throws it around the outside of Edmund. Now he grabs the race advantage back away from Edmund. So Edmund's got the work cut out for him now back in second spot. O'Toole in third. Then comes Hopwood. But the race is up front between Cassidy and the 20 and also the 12 of Graham Edmund now, who's got to give chase. He led for most of the race, and now he finds himself back in second place and out after this race leader Cassidy. Cassidy now, he leads comfortably now. He's starting to stretch away from Edmund. Edmund trying a little bit too hard down low on the track. There's only 2 laps remaining. Look at the way Cassidy throws that car into turn 1-2. It's where he was on a slider. He really throws it in, Cassidy. Down he comes. Edmund now gets a look on the inside. He wasn't quite close enough and didn't turn into the corner. He just drove it straight and nearly went towards the concrete wall. O'Toole, only 1 lap to go. It's Cassidy out in front. I don't think he's going to get to him. Edmund in second place. Up to the slower cars they come, but they won't come into play. Down to the checkered flag. The race win's going to go to Cassidy, and a good win too. Second place will go to the 12 of Edmund, then to 18 of Colin O'Toole. Good drive by Kevin Hopwood in the 63 to finish ahead of the 13 of Rod Fraser. Nisbet was next, followed by the 55 next across the line. He dribbles across now, Neil Cheatham. Dedera Gillespie, the 68 of Turner, and the 23 of Greg Smith will be the last driver to greet the checkered flag. No time recorded due to the crash. Tracy Millington in the 9 up front. Garland in the 46. Phillips in car 56. They make up the front row. Look at the speedsters towards the back. The Thorley boys. The Baxters. Tony Pryor. Chris Alcorn. And Morris, who hasn't had a real happy time of it tonight. That things could change for him in this final. Get ready for the start. 6 laps. Lights are flashing. Here we go. And they get the green flag. A little bit slow to get away with Phillips, so too is Tracy Millington. Oh, couple got tangled up. Alcorn's up onto the infield. He made up a few places, though. That's been an advantage to him, I would reckon. Alcorn now finds himself up in about 6 or 7. Look at Pryor go. He's up into 3rd place already. Through on the inside. He got a magical split. Up into 2nd place. Look out. Here comes Pryor. But look out up in front, because Brian Thorley's got the race lead. He's come through just as quick as Pryor. But Pryor seems to have the pace in that car, and look at him wheel him in. He's getting closer and closer, starting to gobble him up. And now you want to watch out Thorley up front, because here comes Tony Pryor. Pryor starting to put the pressure right to Thorley. Thorley's hanging on, and that's Brian Thorley in the 21. Here comes Pryor, though. That's all he needs. Thorley to drift out that little bit, but Pryor just didn't have the toe to come through underneath that time. Now he'll pick the spot. Down main straight away on the inside. He keeps it down. Oh, got the little touch with Thorley, but it wasn't enough to cause any incident. And up high on the track he got, though. Thorley's going to come back at him on the inside, but Pryor managed to regain his composure and come back down in front of him. Now it's Tony Pryor, the race leader. 2nd place is Brian Thorley. Then we got the 7 of Chris Alcorn's got up ahead of the other Thorley there back in 4th spot. And that's Gary Thorley. But there's only 1.5 to go. Up to the slower traffic they come. And Tony Pryor, the race leader, he sees the white flag knowing he's only got 1 to go. Thorley in 2nd spot, that's Brian Thorley. Oh, he's getting snagged up with some of these slower cars. Well, they opened up, he got a good run there. But on the outside, Thorley's not going to give up, though. Down to the final line, Pryor leading, and he's going to hang on. Yes, Pryor hangs on into 1. Thorley 2nd, that's Brian Thorley, ahead of Chris Alcorn. Then comes Gary Thorley in the 20. The 31 next across the line will be Michael Baxter. Then we go back to David Baxter in the 32, the 36 of Morris. Phillips comes across the line, as well as Knott in the 93. Murray will be one of the last to pick up the checkered flag. 137.430. 137.430. The time recorded for the race winner, Tony Pryor in car 1. He takes out the 2nd feature, the inverted final for the Formula 500 sport despite Burton's radiators. So he finishes up on a winning note. Okay, all drivers fired up and ready to go for the Kawasaki Newcastle Speed Car feature. This is the feature event for the Speed Cars of the night. Rod Bowen has been almost unbeatable. He's had 2 wins from his heats tonight, and he'll come from position number 10, the 5th row on the grid. And he's got a long way to try and make up those 9 spots. And I would reckon he'd do about 3 or 4 of them in the first lap. Lights are out. Lambert and Chilton will lead them away in this Kawasaki Newcastle Speed Car feature. And what a fantastic field we've got lined up. 19 speed cars to contest the feature. And credit to the drivers. Get ready for the start. Look for the green light. And there it is, to send them on their way. Lambert got away well. There was a little bit of a mix-up going in the main straight away. They got snagged up. Lambert got a bit sideways there going into the first turn, but now he straightens himself up and goes down back straight away. Oh, on the outside, Adam Clark. Oh, Clark's come from nowhere. Oh, he's high and wild. He's riding the concrete wall. Now he slots down low on the track. Well, look at Clark. He's driving like a man possessed. Up into 4th spot. The green number 76 machine. Back on the inside, though. A good passing move to get that spot back. I think it was Morris. But look at Clark go. He's really got the foot down this time. He's looking to go around the outside of Hendy. Up high on the track. He's going to try and grab Hendy and Chilton in the one go. And he does. On the outside. No, Chilton. Yes, into 2nd spot. And Adam Clark, he wants to get out in front and let Rod Bowen chase him. But they're all after Lambert at the moment. And there's a car in trouble, going to bring the race to a stoppage. Stuck on the fence. And once again, in nearly the exact same spot. And it's the 3 of Gavin Lear in trouble. And he did the exact same thing last time in the exact same spot. The car just seemed to go up towards the concrete wall. It's taken a liking to that spot on the concrete wall, and he finds himself parked there once again. Look out. Watch for the green light. Lambert stacking them up. Now he decides to put the foot down and go, but so does Clark. Clark went with him too. Hendy back in third spot. They come past for the first time. And Lambert, Clark goes up onto the outside of Lambert to try and get this race lead away. Will he? Yes, he's got the drive on the outside. Clark now goes to the lead. Lambert drops back into second spot. So Clark, very determined driving by Adam Clark, who's gone to the race lead. Lambert in second. Then we've got Hendy followed by Morris coming up on the inside. Behind them, trying to make their way through now. Another red light on. There's trouble over in turn number 3. And a driver in trouble. Just can't quite pick the number up. But just stuck on the side of the track. Lights still on. Look for them to go off. Now they do. And watch for Adam Clark, because he'll get the jump here. Bowen's going to have to try. Bowen's gone. The steering's gone altogether on the car. Well, that's terrible, terrible luck for Rod Bowen. In a bit of an awkward spot there. No go this time. Rod Bowen, unfortunately for him, that steering has just decided to collapse on him. And he could only just get onto the edge of the track. You can see he just didn't have any steering whatsoever, so he couldn't get that far enough off the track to be out of danger. Now, a bit of frustration. I think Rod Bowen believes that he may have been involved in a little incident with Brady in the 7 machine. Now, those two were jostling for a position. Now, whether Brady and Bowen have come together and that's caused the steering problem, we just don't know, only guessing at this stage, but he not happy about something. Lights are out though, we're ready for a start, and we get the green flag too with Adam Clark in the 76 machine to lead this charge of speed cars. Now here's Hendy coming through on the inside, looking to get second spot away. Also Brett Morris and Jenkins. Look at this group of drivers behind the race leader Clark. They're starting to swap and change positions very rapidly as they came out of the turn where the light's gone, and then down they come main straight away. And look at Cox. Cox in car 9, he clipped the wall, he gets sideways into the wall, up and over onto the side. Well, Cox got out of control and finds himself on the lid in turn number 1. Well, he started here in the main straightaway as Ross and I just happened to catch him, touch the concrete wall. He got all out of shape. Looked like he might have been able to control it, but once the starting sliding sideways, away they go. They get the green light to send them on their way. There's Brady getting up quickly. Well, that'll be interesting to see whether he made that pass before or after the witch's hat. But nevertheless, back up front of the race, here's Hendy on the inside. Well, Lambert's paid the penalty. He drifted off the line, and that's all it needed for 3 cars to rush through on the inside. And he's gone from second back to 5th. Whoa, trouble! Well, Hendy did well there to keep that machine under control. He was gone for all money. He was gone, dead set over, but he managed to bring it back from the brink and did a great job to keep it on the track. So too's this man up front, Clark. He's starting to run away with this race in the 76, one of the local drivers. Great to see the local talent coming out in the speed car ranks, and he really is an up-and-coming talent. Clark out in front. There's a battle going on for second spot. Now here comes Brady. He's come out of the pack silently, and he's up to the back of Jenkins, and he's strongly challenging for that second spot. Jenkins currently holding down second. That's Scott Jenkins in the 73 machine. But look out for Brady in the 7 on the inside, and he's got the pass too that he wanted. Through he goes on Jenkins. Jenkins tried to come back at him, but Brady now seems to have the drive in that car and the power. So he's out after the race leader with 11 laps left to go. Clark leads. Second spot is Brady in car number 7. Then we go back to Jenkins, followed by Lambert. Chilton back behind him. Then comes Stanbrook and Lear, followed by Dark and Hendy, who's dropped right back through the field. Now coming up to some of the slower traffic, this will test Clark, whether he can get through A-OK. But here comes Brady and also Scott Jenkins, who's in third placing. But those 3 are pretty well cleared away from the rest of the field. Up on the inside of one of the slower cars comes Clark. He gets through okay, but look at Brady. Brady's getting closer to him. He's starting to make up the ground on Clark, so Clark might not have this all his own way. Starting to run out of laps too, though. 8.5 laps left to run. Adam Clark leads in the green 76. He'll cross the line now. Behind him, the 7 of Brady. And Brady giving chase in the pink number 7 machine. It's starting to wheel him in too. Lap by lap, he's getting closer and closer. All he needs is getting snagged up behind one of these slower cars, and he has. And Clark is in trouble. Clark now finds Brady right up behind him, starting to put the pressure to him. Clark now, this will be a test for the youngster. Can he hold on? He's only got 6.5 to go. Through on the inside, the slower car's going to hamper him again. Brady decides to go high. Now he's snooking, is he? No, on the inside, Brady. Clark holding the lead. Brady, oh, he's driving too hard. Yes, way too hard. Brady came in too fast, and he got hooked up with one of the slower cars, and in my opinion has absolutely brought himself undone. Well, that didn't need to be done with 6 laps left to go. It was desperation stuff. It wasn't that desperate, because he still had a few laps up his sleeve. He was reeling in the ground, and he's gone and done something like that. He's thrown away his chances, in my opinion, and just trying that little bit too hard. As I mentioned, it would have been understandable had it been down to the last couple of laps, but he still had some laps up his sleeve. And Brady will be absolutely kicking himself, I would imagine. Clark was tiring too. It was starting to take its toll on him. He was starting to slow, and Brady was getting him lap by lap. You could see him wheeling in the ground. But, unfortunately, he just tried that a little bit too hard, got snagged up with one of the slower drivers, and found himself. And it was the 16, thanks Ross, the driver involved, Muhammad Ali. So a couple of incidents now. Mohammed boxing it on with the rest of the field. Onto the infield he goes. And looks like that might be the end of his race. So a few casualties now starting to build up on the infield. We're down to 6 laps, so really it's come down to a 6-lap dash. Now here's Brady. Well, he's come up to take his place alongside Clark, or behind Clark. Just wait to see what goes on there. So, Clark, Brady, lucky break for Brady. Well, that's a damn lucky break for Brady, because he's going to find himself right up on Clark now. Watch for the restart. 6 laps. I think Brady will want to buy a lottery ticket as they move up to the Witch's Hat. Look for the green light. Clark stacked them up and then give the gas. They try and outrun Brady. Brady now is going to try and keep in touch with Clark. They've only got 6 laps as they greet the green flag. Clark the race leader. Brady in second spot. He's going to try as hard as he can. Now he's got that machine hooked up. It seems to have the pace, but now Clark got an extra spurt. He needed that little bit of a spell, I think, because he was starting to run out of puff. Up front, it's Adam Clark. But look at Brady. Brady in the 7's keeping the pressure right to Clark, and he's going to make him work hard all the way. He got a good line out of there, Brady, and ran up to the back of Clark. Now he's going to start to put himself within striking distance of Clark. Clark leads. Look at Brady, though. He's all over the top of Clark. He's all over him like a rash. Brady now will try and come through on the inside. Clark wouldn't want to leave the gate open because Brady is sitting ready to pounce. It's all Clark, though. He's done a tremendous job to hold on. But can he hold on any longer? He drifted out a little bit. He comes through. Brady tried a little bit too hard again, exactly what he did last time. But this time he managed to stay off Clark and stay in that second spot. 2 laps left to go. Clark now keeps it a bit tighter this time down main straightaway. That's a better line from Clark. Brady, though, he goes high and wide. Looks, he's got the drive too. He might drive around the outside. No, he won't. 1.5 to go. It's all coming down to the final lap. Brady, Clark on the inside, Brady on the outside. This is going to be a cracker of the last lap. Brady realises now it's desperation time. Oh, well, he's done it again. He's done it again. Dead set. That's the time he needed to go for the desperation stakes, and he did. But unfortunately, the same thing happened, and I'd say the race will be declared at will. So race declared. Adam Clark, the local driver, picks up a win in the feature of the Kawasaki Newcastle Speedcar feature. And he will be happy, not with the way the race ended, but nevertheless, a win's a win. And young Adam Clark in car 76 has taken out the win. Let's hear a round of applause. He's a local boy. He's an up-and-comer in the speed cars. The 76, Adam Clark, takes the win. Well done, Adam. And he is the race winner for our Kawasaki Newcastle Speed Car feature. The race has been declared, so we're not sure about the final placings. What will happen with Brady? We would imagine Brady would be gone to the rear of the field. So the way we see them up here in the tower would be Adam Clark, the 76, the 73 of Scott Jenkins, the 4 of Lambert, 3 Gavin Lear, and 92 of Paul Stanbrook. No. Now just letting that bit of moisture packed into the track. Get it home in time for David Letterman. 12 laps. Now, guys are keen to get away, but the lights are still solid. Watch for Hopwood here in the 63. He's drawn very well, and if he can get his nose in front, I don't know whether they will chase him down. But the big guns from the back of the pack might have something to say about that. Lights are flashing now. We're ready for a start. In the acceleration zone they come. They look okay too. And they get the green flag. Melody Gillespie was very slow to get away. Neither was Smith. Oh, they're bunching up into the first turn. Looked like there might have been trouble, but they're okay. Down back straight away. Fraser goes on the inside. Hopwood goes on the outside of Melody Gillespie. As she gets shuffled back through the pack, around goes Cassidy. Keeps the foot down. Does a couple of donuts on the infield, but bad luck for Cassidy. Oh, there's Colin O'Toole too, a little bit skatey and slippery, the conditions for him, and nearly collected the concrete wall. But back up front, the man who's grabbed the race lead, the surprise packet, Smith. Smith in the 23. He leads. Second place is Kevin Hopwood. Then comes Fraser. Now Edmund's starting to make his way out of the pack. Tries to get a wheel up on the inside of Fraser just to let him know he's there, but got untidy up onto the windrow and lost a bit of ground back into 4th place. But I don't know whether they're going to catch Smith up front. He's been pretty quiet tonight, but out in the one that matters, he's out in front and starting to stretch away from the rest. Hopwood now gets the wheel up in the air as he got up onto the infield and lost a little bit of ground. That allowed Fraser in the 13 to get a bit closer to him, and Graham Edmund doesn't seem to make any inroads on these 3 up front. It's all Smith though. Look at Edmund now trying and get on the inside of Fraser. He's getting a bit closer to him and is going to try and make a serious challenge for 3rd spot. Edmund trying to have a crack at Fraser. He can't get close enough to him now. That's the problem at the moment. Hopwood doing a good job in 2nd place in the 63 machine, but he can't seem to reel in this race leader. Here's a chance for him now. Smith coming up the slower traffic, and let's just see how he goes through these slower cars. They might hamper him, and that's what Kevin Hopwood's hoping. Hopwood's hoping it will. Look at Fraser though, and Edmund starting to battle him on as well. Fraser's still holding Edmund at bay, and look, here we go, Smith. Smith's starting to get tangled up in these slower cars. He can't pick the right line. He needs to go up high on the track. Oh, look at Edmund. Edmund and Fraser wheel to wheel. Down lane straight away. Edmund gives the advantage. Now Hopwood's starting to come through the pack, and he's got right up to the back of Smith, so they're starting to bunch right up. They were strung right out. Here comes Hopwood making a move on the inside. Gillespie is holding them up. Now around the outside goes Smith. Graham Edwards starting to join in the battle too. So it's going to come down to the final 3 laps. Out of the turn they come. Greg Smith's the race leader, but look at Hopwood and also Edmund. They're starting to pull the pressure right onto Smith. Smith, can he hang on? This will be his first feature win, I'd reckon, too, if he can hang on to that machine out in front. But he's got a lot of pressure coming from Hopwood, and Graham Edmund now, who tried to come through on the inside of Hopwood. Oh, he gave him a touch. Nearly put him round 2 in turn number 3. 2 laps left to go. Smith the race leader, Hopwood in 2nd spot, Edmund holding down 3rd spot. You can forget about the rest of the pack. Down they come with only 1 more lap to go. Smith leads. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he got hooked up. Well, and that's allowed Edmund around the outside. Yes, Graham Edmund has snatched the race lead away. Hopwood in the second spot, all because of the slower driver Detterer, and Smith now finds himself back in third spot. Well, you wouldn't credit it. Edmund up high, down to grab the checkered flag. Graham Edmund, what a change came over the race. 63 Hopwood, 23 of Smith was next. Then we go back to Fraser, I would think, in the 13 ahead of O'Toole, followed by Gillespie. And, well, the rest, we can pretty much work them out yourselves. 2:13.943.8. 3:13.948, the time recorded. And the final win of the night has gone right in the final lap to Graham Edmund in car number 12. He does his lap of honour, and he takes out the Newcastle Metal Recyclers modified handicap feature. Well done, Graham. And he finishes up with a win. Second place went to the 63 of Kevin Hopwood. Well done to him. The 23 of Smith was next. Fraser in the 13, the 18 of Colin O'Toole. And that wraps up tonight's meeting. Thank you very much for your patience tonight. We understand that speedway racing, these things do happen. These incidents happen. It's just one of those nights, but we thank you for your patience, and we hope you have a safe journey to your respective homes. On behalf of the Newcastle Wins Newcastle International Motordrome Promotions and Management, we thank Kawasaki Newcastle for their sponsorship, and we hope to see you back here next Saturday night for the running of our Super Sedan Top Gun round number 2. So on behalf of Ross and Joel Allen from the control box, have a very good night.